Independent woman. Baby, you're so independent. You pay all your bills by yourself. You take care of everything by yourself. You don't even need a man. Sounds familiar? Hello ladies, welcome to another video. Today's video is all about names, manipulative and cheap men call women and why you should not fall for it. My name is Ayanime, and if this is your first time, do subscribe. But if you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for being a part of this community. Let's quickly get into the video. The first name is gold digger. Ladies, let's look at the definition of a gold digger. A gold digger is somebody who initiates a relationship with somebody in the hopes of material or financial gain. By that definition, even though the term is almost always used for a woman, it is not exclusive to women alone. Because trust me, there are men who are also gold diggers. That aside, have you noticed how the men who have the gold do not call these women gold diggers because maybe they're getting something out of the relationship? It is always the ones without the gold that are always quick to call a woman a gold digger. The funny thing about this, right, is that once a man gets a little bit of money, guess who he wants to spend on? He wants to spend on women that he could not afford to spend on before. You see what I mean? So it's almost always insecurity about a man's financial status or capability that makes him look at a woman and call her a gold digger, especially when she is not a gold digger. And guess what, ladies? Men, some men, they are the ultimate gold diggers. Now, number two, or as Nigerian men are always quick to call it, a favorite name for a woman when a man is intimidated by her wealth or status, especially if she is a young woman. This is actually very sad because in this part of the world, if you own a car, you are a if you own a house, you are a if you go to the market, especially places like Yaba Market, Balogun Market, and you refuse to listen to catcalls, or maybe a man just grabbed you and you're defending yourself, guess what you are? You are a You go to a restaurant, a bar, or a club by yourself. You guessed it, you are. Let's not even talk about owning iPhone. Yes. I will never understand that, so let's not talk about it. You need to understand that when a man's ego has been bruised or his insecurities are flaring up, guess what he's going to do? He's going to project all of that back at you and try to call you names that is meant to hurt you. As disrespectful and hurtful as this is, especially if it comes from somebody you love, maybe you broke up with the person and you heard that he called you this name or he said something along this line, please, I implore you, do not feel bad, do not feel sad, do not feel depressed. Refuse to be guilted into lowering your standards or dimming your light and purpose. Number three, feminist. I think it is time we, and I mean men and women, sit down and really understand the meaning of feminism. First of all, a feminist is not just a woman. A feminist is a person. So you could be a man, you could be a woman. A feminist is a person who supports gender equality. Every resources that is made available to the man should be made available to the woman, and she should not be discriminated based on the singular fact that she is a woman. That is feminism essentially. Reproductive rights, rights to vote, rights to own property, rights to equal pay, rights to be treated equally. And feminism is not about hating a man. It is not about saying kill all the men, we don't want men in our lives anymore, which is what misandrists are doing. And the true feminists, both men and women, they know this and they're angry and they refuse to identify with that. This is now giving cheap and manipulative men the avenue to say, you are a feminist, you can do it yourself. You are a feminist, it's all about gender equality. Especially when the woman is asking for some form of help. A cheap man or a manipulative man will use this word as an excuse. So the next time a man calls you a feminist, just to be disrespectful or just to be hurtful, remind him that a feminist is a person. And if he has ever supported a woman, maybe rooted for his sister to get a better position at work, paid for a little girl's school fees, did anything at all to support a woman, then he is also a feminist. Number four, independent woman. Baby, you're so independent. You pay all your bills by yourself. You take care of everything by yourself. You don't even need a man. Sounds familiar? That right there is a man who is laying a foundation so that he doesn't ever help you to do anything. Some women see this as high praise, but I don't see it as high praise. A man can appreciate your independence even as he's being helpful and value added to your life. But once he starts to praise your independence excessively, then you have to start thinking about what his motives are. Ladies, repeat after me. I am not independent, I am self-sufficient. I am indespoiled. I want to be independent and also spoiled at the same time. You don't have to repeat after me, don't mind me. That is my mantra anyways. So if you are with a man who is praising your independence and keeps talking about how you don't need a man, you need to examine his motive, because he could just be a cheap, manipulative man looking for somebody he can do the barest minimum for. Number 5, strong woman. First of all, there's nothing wrong with being a strong woman if you are able to share your values, hold on to your beliefs, you're kind, you're loving, you are able to weather tough situations, you are able to hold other people up and help them deal with whatever it is they're dealing with. For me, those are traits, not limited to those ones, but those are traits of a strong woman. The one that triggers me is when a man treats a woman horribly and she endures it, then that makes her a strong woman. If he, let's say, impregnates another woman outside and she endures, she's a strong woman. If he cheats and keeps on cheating and she endures, she's a strong woman. It could even be that he is verbally, emotionally, or physically abusive to her. And if she endures, that makes her a strong woman. The scenarios continue and continue. That right there is what triggers me. It is completely manipulative, because when you measure strength by these standards, the man or the society is essentially manipulating the woman into staying in a terrible situation. The saddest part about this is that some women, whether knowingly or unknowingly, also manipulate other women with these words. I'll share an example with you. Let's say a woman goes to her friend to share that her partner has been horrible to her. And instead of the woman encouraging her to seek help or encouraging her to make a decision that benefits her, you start hearing words like, be strong, endure. That woman has, like I said, knowingly or unknowingly, manipulated that woman into staying in a terrible situation, forgetting that it takes a tremendous amount of strength to walk away from any situation that is not good for you or your mental health. Ladies, be very careful when it comes to this. Once you start hearing the word strong woman, make sure you examine the motive so that you are not being manipulated in any way. Ladies, out of the list I have given to you so far, have you ever been called any of these names? Let me know in the comment section. Number 6, high maintenance. This could be two ways. It could be financial or even emotional. Now, there are women who are actually high maintenance. They demand things they cannot afford for themselves. They throw tantrums. Everything has to be this way, even if they are not at that level yet. There are women like that. Now, there are women who are used to a particular standard. They can afford it for themselves and they expect that standard from the men they are dating. The issue here is when a man who is not up to that standard pursues her, and let's say she agrees, and he all of a sudden wants her to lower her standards. And when she refuses, guess what? She's high maintenance. This is another manipulative word to get you to lower your standard and settle for crumbs, especially when you know you deserve a whole lot better. Ladies, don't fall for it. Now, number 7 is similar to number 6, and that is materialistic. There are women who are materialistic in a very negative way. They are obsessed with possessions. Money is the only way they validate themselves. This is not good at the end of the day. Now, there are women who, if they ask for things, normal things that will make their life easy, a cheap and manipulative man will immediately call her materialistic. For example, let's say you're used to buying a certain brand of clothes, shoes, hair products, beauty products, whether expensive or not very expensive, or you can afford it and you buy these things for yourself, and a man comes in and calls you materialistic. That right there is another subtle way of getting you to lower your standards. And ladies, don't fall for it at all. Number 8, difficult and a bit. The B word. A woman is suddenly difficult or is called the B word when she knows what she wants and she refuses to settle. Ladies, there is compromise, and then there is a man trying to bully you into accepting what is not right for you. There is also you knowing what you want and being vocal about it. But then a man will use these words to try to silence you and get you to, again, lower your standards. Well, do not fall for it. Another way is in the workplace, especially when the woman is the boss. Let's say something happens at work and she shares her displeasure, or she's used to a particular level of delivery when it comes to projects, and maybe the workers under her didn't deliver and she expresses her displeasure. She's suddenly a B word and difficult. I'm going to keep hammering it in this video. Ladies, don't fall for it. Don't allow these words affect you in such a way that you start to lower your standards and you start to dim yourself and try to make yourself smaller, all because you want to make the man feel comfortable. Not at all. Number 9, good girl. I like this one. Oh, you're such a good girl. You don't even ask me for money. You don't even give me stress. This is another word that men use to manipulate women. There's nothing wrong with your man praising you for being a good woman. Not at all. The problem is when he starts comparing you to another woman. When you hear things like, my ex was such a good girl. She didn't ask for money. She wasn't even demanding. She didn't even give me any problems at all. My dear, if it was that good, you should have stayed with her. Or you start saying things like good girls don't do this or that. That right there is a way to manipulate you. When he starts hammering this in the beginning of a relationship, that, my dear beautiful ladies, is most likely a man who is laying the foundation for you to not ask for anything that will make your life easy, especially if he can afford to do it for you. And finally, number 10. Oversensitive. This is the word that men use when they want to avoid accountability. You start hearing things like, don't blow it out of proportion. Why are you making this a big deal? Why are you reacting like this? Why are you so sensitive? Why are you so emotional? And I'll tell you why this is very manipulative. Imagine a man says this to you and you feel bad. And because you don't want him to say these things again, you keep quiet. He does something, you keep quiet. He disrespects you, you keep quiet. He violates your boundaries, you keep quiet. Why? Because you want to be cool. You don't want to be sensitive. You don't want to be oversensitive, rather. You don't want to be emotional, or you don't want to be seen as the woman who blows things out of proportion. What has happened is that you start to lose yourself. And because you don't want to be tagged oversensitive, emotional, you are essentially going to start tolerating things and accepting things that you should never ever have accepted in the first place. You see how manipulative that is? Ladies, don't fall for it. Set your boundaries and stand by them. Hold the men in your life accountable for their actions. Because trust me, men are like babies. They will do the first one. Wait and see how you react. If you don't react and set boundaries immediately, they will do something worse and it just goes downhill from there. And you do not deserve that. So there you have it, ladies. 10 names manipulative and cheap men call women. I hope you enjoyed this video, you learned something new, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, share, comment, because I would love to hear your thoughts, especially if you've ever been called any of these names, or if you have any other names you think men call women that are manipulative and we should not fall for. Also, don't forget to turn on post notification so that you do not miss any new videos I upload. And to learn more about things like this, I'm going to leave a video, things men say that are immediate red flags. Do watch that video. As always, be kind to yourself and I will see you in the next video. Bye.